Welcome to another Core podcast. We've got a lot of news for you today. It's November 20th, and the legal maneuvers have been flying. The writs have been coming faster than we can read them. And so we want to kind of bring you up to speed on what's happened. The newspapers have had a lot in them about Mayor Bassett being removed from office. Judge Gagne in the district court gave us orders on October 14th that actually removed Mayor Bassett from office by a default judgment, which means that the mayor didn't show up, didn't enter an appearance, didn't answer the lawsuit. And in this country, if you do that, it can be a delay strategy. And so the courts don't like it when people don't take a lawsuit seriously and show up and defend themselves. Mm-hmm. So as a result, the punishment, so to speak, or at least so that the lawsuits can go on and not have to wait years for somebody to show up, is they give you a default judgment. So the mayor tried to get that overturned at a hearing. And before he could do that, his attorney was never properly authorized. And counselors Abraham and Jaramillo intervened in the case and said, we want you to strike this because this attorney does not have authorization from the council, the governing body, to do this. So she did. And as a result, a meeting was held. The judge said, you need to have a meeting of the governing body and let them decide what's going to happen in this action. So Mayor Bassett is conflicted out. He can't vote on things, shouldn't vote on things, and he's already out of office by the time they hold this meeting on November 2nd. It's kind of a kangaroo court meeting. And you've seen what happened in that hearing. We're going to play a little bit of it today, but the whole thing it's amazing to see it happen. So at the meeting, instead of being called by the governing body, which would have been 3 counselors, the mayor called it, who's not the mayor, and so it's an illegal meeting.
But nobody's told him he's not mayor because he didn't understand what the judge said when she said, "You're not mayor."
Well, that's what they'd have us believe, right? Or they didn't want to accept it anyway. So let's play the first clip. This clip is Counselor Jaramillo is trying to explain that this is an illegal meeting. Because one, he's not the mayor. It takes 3 counselors to call, and none of them agreed on it. So let's go ahead and play that clip.
So just for the record, and my point of order is that the governing body, which is us 4, it takes 3 of us to call the meeting and agree upon the meeting, and that did not happen. So in my opinion, the mayor is not mayor.
You're not the governing body.
We are.
You're the council.
We are the governing body according to the judge.
You're the council.
So you can see he's not real happy with her about bringing up that this is an illegal meeting. So they had plenty of opportunity to change up and do something else. But of course, they're just mowing right through this like they have the authority to do it.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely the dictator there. And the other 2 lapdogs in the council do whatever he says. So why would he change? He can do whatever he wants.
Well, he's been getting away with it for so long, or apparently so. And that's how this goes. You can get away with anything in this country as long as you don't get caught, right?
That's right. So
he's been caught up and he doesn't like it. And he's proceeding to try to power his way through this meeting. So let's play the next clip. This one, Counselor Abraham is asking him to recuse himself, which means that he voluntarily abstains from voting. And really, they're supposed to leave the room. They're supposed to say, I have a conflict of interest, I recuse, and they leave the room until it's over. Because they don't want them to even have the influence on the other counselors, much less vote on.
And anybody with any kind of, with any morality at all would recuse himself. But obviously, it doesn't apply to him because he's special and he can do whatever he wants. And he's the tie-breaking vote. So he can do whatever the heck he wants. And it's obvious that's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, it certainly appears that way. So let's play that other clip.
Okay, my second point then is conflict of interest. You definitely have a conflict in this matter, and I would like you to recuse yourself and leave the room and let John Abrams take over the meeting.
I so decline.
So you can see, I so decline. Those are his, and that's supposed to, make it okay, I guess. You're familiar with the Governmental Conduct Act. That was implemented so
we don't have exactly what we have here.
Exactly
what we have here.
Where a government official is disqualified from voting if it directly affects their finances. Well, they've hired 7 attorneys now and have entered this case on behalf of Mayor Bassett. And you can imagine they're all charging somewhere between $200 and $300 an hour. That's our taxpayer money that he's using to defend himself from our allegations that he took our money.
And it seems to me, if you have to hire 7 lawyers, you are in a pile of trouble.
Something's wrong.
And the town is really, really being taken for a ride for this. Because those guys are making quite a bit of money, and you stack on 7 of them, and we're paying for it. So what a great mayor we have to saddle the town with this kind of bill for his own purpose.
Well, it's other people's money, so he doesn't
Matter to him.
really care. So let's play another clip here. In this clip, this is where the mayor, and this is only one of many votes that they took that day, but this is the one where the mayor is breaking the tie to vote to hire an attorney on town funds for himself personally. So let's play that clip.
Councilor Jaramillo,
Can you repeat the motion, please?
for this discussion, consideration, action on hiring an attorney to represent Mayor Bassett in his official capacity as mayor of the town of Edgewood in case number D101 CV 2020-00328. And the firm in discussion was the Mackey
Law and Policy.
Law and Policy.
And to do what exactly?
To defend the mayor and from the allegations contained in the amended complaint.
Nay.
Councilor Abraham.
Nay.
Councilor Abrams.
Aye.
Councilor Holle.
Aye.
We have a tie vote. Mayor votes aye.
So Abrams and Holly are voting lockstep again. I mean, if I had to estimate the odds on this, I think I've only seen one time that one of them voted against the mayor. And that's been in the last 2 years or 3 years that I've been paying attention. So you'd say 99.99%, I think, of the time they vote lockstep.
Yeah, they are a rubber stamp for corruption. That's
Yeah.
all there is to it.
Yeah.
Simple.
So at this point, I think we're at the point where we play the last clip here. Yeah, this is where now Councilor Jaramillo is again asking the mayor to recuse himself from a vote. And it's based on the personal finance thing. If the town is going to spend 7 attorneys at let's say 200 an hour, even that's 1,400 an hour. And I would say they probably spent so far maybe 20,000. Keep in mind, this is Mayor Bassett. Remember Bassett's promises that he ran on lowering legal fees?
Yep.
Spending more on roads and trails,
Being accessible.
Yeah.
Yep. All that kind of good stuff.
civility, right?
Civility.
They're supposed to
We
be
haven't seen
civil
a
toward
civil
the council.
day with him at all.
So let's play this last clip here where she's asking him to recuse.
Again, I would move that John Bassett is disqualified from voting here and is conflicted, and I ask him to recuse himself.
Second.
And motion's been made and second to ask the mayor to recuse himself. I will not.
So I will not. That's his response.
It's like we were saying with the Maduro. You know, he's going to vote wherever he wants. He's going to get whatever he wants, do whatever he wants for whoever he wants, and that's the way it is.
So
So
you're talking about Venezuela.
Venezuela, yeah.
Well, I hope that's not the model for where we're going, but it's certainly they're attempting to run the government here that way. So at this point, we went into another hearing on November 4th, and this whole sham meeting on November 2nd that we just saw was a setup so that they could hire all these attorneys to come in on his side. At the November 4th hearing, the town, under the auspices of this vote, asked the judge to set aside the judgments that we have against them. So it was fully tried and heard, and the judge said, no, I'm not going to set these aside. You had plenty of opportunity to come in and defend yourself. You did not do it. You had notice. You've even filed an affidavit that said he knew about the lawsuit. So that was really kind of a major milestone for us. So then after the November 4th hearing, there was another hearing, November 10th. So the reason that is because the mayor was still trying to act as if he was the mayor. He still had assumed this authority. And this meeting was really an open defiance of the judge. So when you defy a judge's order, the penalty is contempt of court. and that can be fines, it can be jail time. So they swamped that hearing with all these attorneys, one of whom was a former justice of the Supreme Court here. So they brought in the big guns.
Big guns.
That's right.
That's what I want.
And there was Adrian Terry on our side, and he acquitted himself beautifully against 7. Have you ever seen one guy wrestle 7?
You know, I listened in on that meeting, and boy, howdy. I mean, he was under fire for sure, and he stood his ground and really made the case, even through all that lawyering that was going on.
Yeah, he's a great advocate for us, and we appreciate that. So after that hearing, the judge declined to hold him in contempt or penalize him. She said, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because it appears you were confused about some things. But she made it clear that the mayor was not the mayor and has not been the mayor since October 14th.
And they weren't confused. They knew exactly what they were doing. They played the judge. Simple as that. They played her.
Yeah. So giving them the benefit of the doubt is probably temporary. If they continue this kind of behavior, it's going to change. So then, like I said, it's been coming fast and furious in our direction. So the next thing they did is they filed. So we're in the district court. The next level up is appeal. They filed an appeal, notice of appeal. Then they went to the Supreme Court, which that's such a rare thing. It has to be a matter of great public import. And their case was, this is of great public import because it's depriving the town of its mayor and it could cause irreparable harm to the town. Well, our case is, it's irreparable harm if he comes back.
Yeah.
It's already been that way. So we now have to answer that writ in the Supreme Court. And until then, everything's kind of put on hold. So, but they are pulling out all the stops. They're using town money like it was, water, pouring it into this case. They've got all of these attorneys to Adrian's one person. We're doing everything we can to support him, but he's our representative, our attorney in this case.
So the question for me is why? Why are we going to this great extent to go to the state Supreme Court to keep this mayor? Why is he saddling the town with this? What is in it for him? There is a big something is in it.
Yeah.
And we kind of know what we think it is, but it's not a high paying job.
Yeah.
It's just, there's other benefits in it. And the other 2 counselors that are the rubber stamp queens there, we got a problem with them.
Yeah. So that's a great point, because you have to think any reasonable person, if you put yourself in his shoes and you said, boy, the town's really unhappy with me. They voted to eliminate the mayor position in the special election, right?
Yep.
Came out 300% of normal turnout. 70% of that 300% voted to change the form of government, specifically to stop corruption. That was one of the big purposes that people said, that they want to stop corruption and they want to eliminate this mayoral position that has so much power it can be abused.
And when I walked through my community to talk about people before the election, they were like, "Is this going to get rid of our mayor?" And I said, "Well, that's the hope." Yeah. And I mean, that was the question from most of these people.
Yeah, really,
we need to get rid of him.
You could say it was a referendum on the mayor.
For sure.
That's why they turned out in droves. They voted a great super majority to eliminate the mayoral position for these reasons. So an average person that said that, I would say to myself, gosh, I must be really doing something wrong. Everybody's against this. I should probably resign. But like you said, that only happens if you're there to serve the public and you realize they don't like what I'm doing.
Yep.
But if you have a hidden agenda, which is not, we've unearthed it, it's not hidden anymore, but he's profited to the tune of over $1 million, it looks like, in the sewer line. There's other things probably that have gone on that we haven't uncovered. And now there's this other agenda to take over the water company. So if you have a property that you've zoned, he changed the zoning on his properties to commercial, and you need sewer and you need water. So now he's going to take over the water company. What do you think is going to happen?
Very convenient that it just happens to benefit him personally and financially.
Right. So Jeremy, I appreciate you coming in, because I know you work full time, plus you have a family. And that's to me like another full-time job.
Always.
So tell me, why is it that you felt important enough to spend some of your very little time that you have, spare time, doing this?
I love this town. I love the quietness. I love the quaintness. We've raised our family here for the last 14 years. It's been a great little town, and I'd like to see it stay that way.
Yeah. One of our members said something that was pretty insightful. It's so simple. He said, it's easy to tell people what we want in Edgewood, because they say, what do you want? We want what we have. We just don't want these massive development projects that the mayor's doing that are going to change the character of the town, mire the town in debt. And we don't want this brutal top-down government we've got. You know, it's a nice little place. We should have an open government where things get aired out peaceably and, you know, things work.
So the swamp is deep, even here in the little town of Edgewood.
Yeah. So we're fighting the good fight, and we are doing what we can to achieve our goals of open, responsible, and ethical government. And we're going to continue to do that. We'll keep you updated. Please stay tuned because things are happening almost faster than we can describe them. So once again, Jerry Powers and Jeremy Toon for Citizens for an Open, Responsible Edgewood. Thank you for tuning in.